Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Next Goal Wins, the latest movie to be written and directed by Taika Waititi, and it follows a disgraced football coach, and by football I mean soccer. Anyway, he's a coach that is basically hired to lead the worst football team in history, the American Samoa national football team, to victory. The basic idea is that they need to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, and at the very least score one goal, because at the beginning of the movie there's a news story that showcases the team losing 31-0. So yeah, this coach has got a lot of work cut out for him. When the trailers for this movie came out, I was curious to see it because it looked funny. It was from Taika Waititi, and even though Thor: Love and Thunder has certainly deteriorated over time for me, he really hasn't disappointed me as a writer and director. The only movies of his that I have not seen were Eagle vs. Shark, Boy, and What We Do in the Shadows, but everything else I've genuinely loved of his. Plus, this show is giving me a lot of Ted Lasso vibes, so I was really looking forward to this movie, and after having watched it, I can honestly say that this is the first time I was truly disappointed in Taika Waititi. In terms of Taika Waititi's filmography, I think I may actually like this movie a lot less than Thor: Love and Thunder, which I know sounds like a controversial opinion because that was basically the movie that broke the MCU fan base. And plus, they are different movies, so you can't really compare the two. But they are from the same director, and I think what makes Next Goal Wins far worse for me is that I expected more from it. This is based off true events, so all the characters here were based off of real people, but you don't really get that impression at all. The biggest fault of the movie is that it is a tonal mess. Even by Taika Waititi standards, there are points throughout this movie where it is far too comedic and far too superficial to actually believe that, yeah, this was a real thing that happened nearly 10 years ago. It also doesn't help that the cast can't even decide what movie they're in. You have some characters in this movie that actually feel like real people, and you believe them. Then you have other characters that are complete over-the-top caricatures of themselves. And then in terms of the football team themselves, 98% of them are cardboard cutouts. They are completely forgettable. And I don't want to have to compare this movie to Ted Lasso, but one of the great things about that show was that every one of those team members sticks out and have become memorable characters. And plus, for all their over-the-top mannerisms, they feel like real people. I never got that impression with this movie here. And in terms of Michael Fassbender, he's a really good actor, but I don't think he has the chops to do comedy, even under Taika Waititi's direction and writing. He is incredibly awkward to watch in this movie, and not in a good way. His timing in terms of comedy is just way off. He looks very confused throughout a lot of this movie, and because he's showing his teeth a lot with this reaction, he gives off a reaction that looks like something got stuck up his butt, and it's just weird to watch. Now, one of the actors and characters that truly stands out in this movie, and I think is worth following, is Kaimana as Jaya. And if you know the real-life story of this team, she was the world's first openly transgender woman to compete in the World Cup. And in regards to this movie's portrayal of that person, she feels very real. There's a lot of sympathy towards her, and you really see the uphill battle that she herself has to fight, being a trans woman and getting looked down upon by not just the opposing team that they first go up against, but even Michael Fassbender's coach character, who just belittles her at first. But the two of them actually start to respect each other a lot more, to the point where the coach makes her the team captain in their first game. So all of that, I think, is very, very well done. But the rest of the movie, unfortunately, cannot deliver that same level of quality. I wouldn't say this is technically a bad movie, but it's certainly a disappointing one. You can tell that its heart was in the right place. It tried to do something earnest, but because the movie was juggling so many different tones, it just doesn't work. It feels like a complete mess, and I cannot recommend this movie in the slightest. Ultimately, I'd have to say watch at your own risk. You might get some enjoyment out of this movie. If you like underdog stories, then there are some key elements in here that'll work for you. But really, at the end of the day, this is not one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's not going to make my worst of list. I'm not angry at it, but it's certainly a letdown. And there you go, that's my review for Next Goal Wins. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.